You ain't saying nothing now, right, big man?
Never thought I'd see the day when you talk like a fucking punk, Q.
Fuck you, man.
Yo, chill. No, fuck chill. Check yourself, Q.
Yo, man, what are we fighting for?
No, nigga, you ready to die?
Yo, you fucked up, man.
Don't turn your fucking back on me, nigga.
You broke the fucking bench, man!
All right, that's it. That's it. Bishop, I want you and Q to settle this shit right now. Come on, y'all. You're like brothers. Fuck that, you are brothers.
Now, fuck that, we used to be like brothers.
All right, we're gonna squash it. What do you say, Bishop?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
Let me talk my shit again. What it do, what it do, what it do. This is the Talk My Shit Again podcast. I'm your humbly hostile host, Cassius Cliff. If y'all watched that reenactment of the conversation between A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, with Smitty in the background, trying to keep the peace, and ultimately Saquon Barkley being the mediator. I mean, I think that was beautifully done. Obviously, that was a hood classic, a clip from the movie Juice. And I think, and I firmly believe, when it came down to that players only meeting, I don't think they was putting differences aside. I don't think they was squashing beef. I think they were trying to prepare themselves for the inevitable. For them, themselves, the players, to call the plays their damn selves. Because obviously, when it came to that Saquon Barkley touchdown, Jalen Hurts drew that up on the fly. And ultimately, A.J. Brown's trying to get a piece of that. He said, if you could do that for Saquon, yo, help me out. And I feel him. Because obviously, we know that A.J. Brown has not been what we're used to seeing when it comes to the consummate pro and leader that he has been in the past. But the frustrations are just it's getting to where it's uncontrollable and has a lot less to do with the quarterback and everything to do with the offensive coordinator and Kevin Patullo. But before we even get into what this game should be and what it presents itself to be when it comes against these New York Giants in MetLife Stadium, we got to look at the injury report like we do typically every week. And unfortunately, we have a couple big names on this that are not going to be showing up for this game. Calcaterra not being one of the bigger ones, but Landon Dickerson, our left guard, is going to be out with that ankle sprain. Jalen Carter is questionable at this time with a heel injury. Who knows what that is? Who knows if he actually be able to suit up in tomorrow night's game? But the fact that we have one of our demons at linebacker, I think we was already having one of the better linebacker groups in all of football throughout the beginning of the season. The fact that we're getting Nakobe Dean back after the year he had last year is a huge boost for this defense, especially when it comes to the run defense, given what Nakobe Dean does. But I firmly believe, because if y'all heard what Cam Newton said recently, not only is it ridiculous, I think it's very interesting. The fact that you have someone asking what your body count is and wanting to know your history. I don't really care about that. I want to know MetLife Stadium's body count and history. The amount of body that is claimed using that turf is astonishing. Their own player and Malik Neighbors went down because of their turf. And if you want to test out your knee, a freshly repaired knee, Nakobe Dean, there's no better place to test it than on MetLife Stadium, on that turf. No better place. And you know what? To me, shout out to you, kudos, and ultimately, hey, prayers up, bro. I hope that you leave the game unscathed. I hope all our players leave the game unscathed and uninjured. And for a guy who's testing out his knee on that turf, hey, you have my respect. Now, moving on to what this game should look like and really shape out to be. First and foremost, going against a rookie quarterback. Jackson Dart is not a complete bum. Clearly, that's not the case. But when it comes down to what the Giants are offensively, which is, to me, their only chance at even having a semblance of a chance in this game, they're not offering anything offensively. There's no Malik Neighbors. Tyrone Tracy is not in. So you have a rookie quarterback, a rookie running back, and Jackson Dart with 65% completion percentage, not bad. But 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions with a passer rating of 80. That's what our defense allows. Our defense allows a passer rating of 80. So that essentially plays into what we do normally. I think the most dangerous Jackson Dart could be is with his legs. Aside from that, there's nothing to fear here. And ultimately, it's the Giants. They're a dumpster fire of a franchise and of a team. There's been no other team with more L's in the last 10 years than the New York Giants, and they have more than 100 of those things. 100 losses in the last 10 years is embarrassing. I would hate to be a Giants fan, and if you are a Giants fan, I would say I'm praying for you, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not. Given the fact that we just lost, I want to bury y'all dudes this week. And I firmly believe that's what's going to happen. When it comes to our defense and what we've been able to do against opposing quarterbacks, we've allowed 6 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 7 sacks, a completion percentage of 58%, and an 80.4 passer rate. So that plays right into what we do best, and ultimately, we should dominate this game. Speaking of dominance, the fact that our edge rushers are starting to show up and make their impacts felt in these games, I think bodes well for not only the defensive line in general, the entire defense. Because if you're getting pressure on the quarterback, you're stifling the run game, you're getting sacks on the quarterback, all he's doing is helping out the back end. And it's allowing guys like Keely Ringo, who's clearly still getting his legs up under him and learning how to play the game in real time. It's making their jobs a lot easier. Last game, our corners did not have their best days, especially our stud, Quinyon Mitchell. He got taken to school by Cortland Sutton, and it happens. It happens to the best of us. Ultimately, our D tackles, Jalen Carter, as well as Jordan Davis, those dudes need to play at a high level and allow our edge rushers to get home. And the fact that they're starting to do that, this defense is about to take off. It's only a matter of time. But when you look at the offensive side of the ball, and what not only this offensive line has been putting out there, but ultimately our offensive coordinator learning on the job and ultimately showing little to no aptitude to learn, this is what we've been getting. When it comes down to it, our offense is putrid. It is not, I understand A.J. Brown's frustration, Devontae Smith, even Jalen Hurts. It is frustrating as hell as someone who does content on the team and as a fan purely just watching the games. It is incredibly difficult to watch this offense not move the ball. When it comes down to 3 and outs, 3 plays and a punt, we're dead last in the league. That's the worst since 2005. When it comes to punts, we're 31st. Yards per game, 30th. Yards per play, 29th. First down plays, we're 28th. The offense has been an eyesore. And obviously, the offensive line dealing with injuries and ultimately not playing at its optimal level, and the play calling being remedial and understanding that Kevin Patullo is just not up to par to what this team is, skill-wise, talent-wise, and ultimately what is on the other side of the ball coaching when it comes to Vic Fangio. The offense has been holding this team back, and it is time for us to have a get-right game. And that's who the Giants are. They're a punching bag we should absolutely abuse on Thursday night. Because when it comes down to it, there's plays to be had here. There's times in which Kevin Patullo is in his bag and actually calling the right plays. This play did not result in that. But the fact that this would have been a huge pickup, given the fact that Smitty was in a favorable position with a favorable matchup, and something that we don't see often, one of my favorite routes, a whip route, which you're just exploiting the coverage. Those things do not happen often enough. It's almost as if Kevin Patullo, his coaching sheet is a bingo sheet. A play works, he crosses it out and never uses the shit again. Why is that the case? I could not tell you for the life of me. But it's clear. Like Dallas Goedert said, the fact that we had a shovel pass in the playbook for 4 years, we finally used it. There's plays in this playbook. It just seems that Kevin Patullo often forgets that we have plays that are easy man beaters, blitz beaters, whatever the case is. When it comes to man coverage, we're in good shape. When it comes to zone, we don't know how to move the ball. And that is purely due to coaching. That is scheme. That's not lacking in talent. Because again, when it's in man coverage, we dominate. But the fact that it's night and day compared to zone, it's not due to the players. It's due to the scheme, and the scheme being uneventful and really primitive. It's beyond simple. When you look at what this team has done in the past, what it's done in 3 halves spanning 3 different games, it's really a slap in the face to watch the offense move at will and then essentially be cement in other halves. I mean, this team is a tale of 2 halves. We'll have one great half offensively, defensively, and then the very next half is as if we got our power stripped from us like in Space Jam. That shit is crazy. And for you to have an offensive coordinator like Kevin Patullo having to be taught how to coach by a coach kid who doesn't even necessarily do that, this is not who Jalen Hurts is. But at this point in time, he has to take responsibility into his own hands. And he knows that despite his offensive coordinator is not doing what he's supposed to do as a coach, and him having to take matters into his own hands, going against what he naturally does, the blame is going to be put on him if this team does not succeed. Wins are a head coach and quarterback step, not an offensive coordinator step. Despite what the offense does or not, these dudes they're not held reliable. They don't get a lot of credit. That's just how this thing works when it comes to the NFL and football. And understanding that, a guy like Jalen Hurts being the leader that he is, you got to do what he has to do. Scheming Saquon Barkley open, understanding the coverage, and your offensive coordinator can't do that? I mean, what are we doing here? If Kevin Patullo and this offense decides to come out flat tomorrow night in MetLife, I say it again. Storming the Capitol is going to be light work compared to what's going to happen at NovaCare and at the Link. I'm going to be there front and center. Tiki torch, pitchfork, and all. I'm going to be there. Either leave the brigade, I'm going to be right in lockstep with everybody else because this is just coaching malpractice, to put it simply, but it is incredibly insulting to watch this offense not look like itself on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays, whatever day we have to play games. It's just insulting. And I am tired of being disrespected. I'm tired of being disrespected when I watch these shows talk about my team. I'm tired of being disrespected by other fans of other teams. And ultimately, I'm tired of being disrespected by my own team. I shouldn't have to watch our games with my eyes damn near covered. Watch between my fingers. I shouldn't have to do that. But here we are, having to grind out wins against teams that aren't on our level. And ultimately, when it comes to the New York Giants, and I'm going to give my pregame score prediction right now, this should be a very easy cakewalk win, 31-10. If we're going to make it a little more competitive, 31-14. This should not be a close matchup at all. These dudes are averaging like 17 points a game. We're averaging 25. And ultimately, we're worlds apart. This should not be competitive in any way, shape, or form. And if it is, we're going to have a huge issue. With that being said, if you have not done so already, please like, share, subscribe, as well as comment. It goes a long way. Thank you in advance. Share this with other Eagles fans. Share this with divisional rivals fans. Especially share this with Giants fans. Let's remind them of who they are, the mutts because we're dogs in Philly. And real dogs, big dogs, don't get in fights with mutts. And that's who the New York Giants are. They're mutts. They're a dumpster fire of a franchise, and they're just not on our level. So let's remind them of who they are, and let's remind everyone else of who we are. This is the Talk My Shit Again podcast. I'm your humbly hostile host, Cassius Cliff. We out to the next one. Go Birds. Peace.